So, on to the second turn of 30 Years of War, Europe in Agony. And I'll try to make this one less of an agony, I guess. I played the first couple phases. Wallenstein phase can't happen. Still, pillage recovery, both sides roll the die. The Catholics got a 0, which means they don't get to recover anything. Protestants got a 4, which means they get 2. So they could have recovered this, they chose not to. Debatable, but they don't really plan on going there, so they don't see a point to it. Okay. Then we did card draw. The Catholics only got 6 cards because they had 1 in hand. Protestants got 7. But one thing you notice right away from this, tiny, tiny deck, especially at the beginning of the game. Protestants are already done. Their deck's gone. They get to reshuffle it. But that means those same events that you didn't choose are going to keep coming back. You're going to get the options to take them again and again. Whether or not that means that the Protestants are ever going to advance the popes, I don't know. But doing so early might be a good move because the particular pope who sucks the worst for the Catholics would be in play for a longer period of time that way. I still don't know how big a deal that is. The Catholics had too much money as it was, and in fact these returned to 0. We also have another factor. The Catholics now have 4 or more electorates, so they get the bonus for that, and it goes up to 22. They don't lose those points. The only way they lose them is by the Protestants going to 4 or more. Which just ends up negating them, essentially. Alright, and we get to start play. The Protestants start each turn. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to spend a lot of detail on it with you guys. So, what do we have? The Protestants opened up playing a card, which they could have taken a leader over in Baden and gotten control of Baden. I don't believe that gives any victory points if they do that, however. Not absolutely positive of that. Regardless, instead they want to concentrate on where they're actually fighting right now. Baden would have had to cut through Württemberg. He couldn't lead many troops. He only had a low leadership value. He might be interesting, but right now I saw those points as being more valuable to activate the Hungarians, whom I moved through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting control of those. 2 of those gives me Moravia 2 victory points, and now I control it. And for a 6th movement point, I move into Austria. Now, I don't own that Austrian space. I still have to spend a movement point to get control of that space, but that's okay. There's no automatic control. Now, over on the Catholic side, I'm playing Spinola Recalled to the Netherlands. This is a one-shot, and it's an expensive and powerful card. It moves Spinola and 3 units directly into the United Provinces. I don't know if there's a space for him to be there. Oh, yeah. Thought there was. And now that frees up some other cards now, which can be played. And one of the reasons that he wants to play that, he has Spinola besieges Breda, which will increase the Dutch war. And since there are no Protestant forces anywhere near the United Provinces, he thinks he's going to get 2 points on the Dutch war track if he plays these out. And there should be a little chit for this one. This is actually permanently removed? Yeah, I think so. I know it's a play once. Play onces are weird. Yeah, this is going to be permanently removed. I don't know if there is a chit for that one. Yeah, there it is. Spinola Recalled to the Netherlands. We'll put that on the track. And that reminds us we can't play it again. Frederick was deposed. That also got removed from the game. And now we're back on the Protestant action. Okay, so just rearrange the pulses. Protestants played Richelieu becomes chief minister of France. This gets discarded. Richelieu means that French aid can start pouring in, which means there'll be more money for the Protestants. Then the Catholics played a 1-point card to trigger movement of Tilly's force, which came through here, recaptured Salzburg, moved through Graz, attacked Vienna. Did its pillaging in Vienna itself, 2 points. They were defeated in a battle even though they played Croats. Now, this is a starred card, so it's removed from the battle, or from the game. We gave them a +1 to the die roll. They lost the battle. Then something I forgot to do in whatever battles I fought last turn, I rolled leader loss checks. Tilly's dead, and his replacement has shown up, and he's retreated back. Now the Croats could only be played, that's why he went around this way, was so that he could pick up Imperial forces so he could play the Croats. Well, they didn't turn out too useful for him, and I don't need this here. And the Protestants now have something of a free hand over here in Austria. Losses, though, are fairly heavy, as we can see. Each side lost 9, which was a tie. And there's still a fairly heavy force here under Bucquoy. Interesting development there. All right. So Mansfeld raised more troops, mercenaries. He can't raise militia in Austria, and who attacked? Not Tilly. I don't know, whoever was in charge of the Austrian army, which was probably Bucquoy, attacked across to Vienna again, sliding through here, paying 2 more pillage results to move that big army. Once again, double 9 result, both sides lost 9, thrown back. And once again, there were losses. This time, Tilly's replacement, Aldringer, and Pappenheim died. Now, Pappenheim dying is kind of cool because we got somebody better, Mercy. But leaders are disappearing rather quickly here. And we'll be back on another action for the Protestants. There's 3 more actions this round. The Catholics are down to a total of 3 cards. Mansfeld took the offensive this time, getting the Hungarian Gabor to come with him. Collected up his forces and attacked. He was defeated, actually 9-8. Driven back, no losses to leaders. The Catholics played a cool card, one that would be useful. They could get a victory point off of right now, but they could get 3 off of it if they can get the last 2 electorates. And because of the way the French entry is kind of triggered, the next level of the deck in particular, not the French entry, but the intervention level of the deck, I don't want to push that because that brings French entry closer and into the game. So since that comes out if I get to 30 victory points, I don't want to push my victory points unless I can get them as far above 30 as possible. So I took the points, more than I need, but no other card covered everything. Last time I counted the Saxons against the Protestants, they're actually Catholic. Both sides had enough to cover them. So now we're on the last card play, and our good Protestant friends need to produce some money. So they're going to produce 20 for themselves, which is way more than they need. But their next card was less. And now we go to the Catholics, who will play their Spinola Besieges Breda. They can't play that. That's got to be the first card of the turn. Okay, they don't want to play this as points. They don't want to play it to get the victory points for the same reasons I was discussing before. They have plenty of points though, so I could try to build, perhaps, Bavaria. Can't recruit in France, Austria, Tyrol, Hungary, Silesia, or Moravia. Well, let's use that Imperial recruiter, I guess. And we can do him twice. There's no reason against that. So he can't recruit in Bavaria or France. He can't recruit veteran units. He can, however, recruit mercenaries, and he's going to do that twice. Oh, there's a -2 for the pillage space. Wow. I didn't count that for Mansfeld. He's sitting on pillaged space too. There aren't a lot of options that I have for those points, though. I was counting on doing the cheating with that card. Activating leader recruiting foreign aid as an event. Well, I am going to try to recruit. I'll try to recruit militia because I think mercenaries are going to be hard. And I get a 5, which I think will get me 2. And I can roll again. Let's see if I want that many. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I can only get one more thing, so I would like to get a mercenary. 4, that's able to get me 1. So I have a decent size force with some Imperials, and that should help a little bit. Oh, cheat. I forgot the -3. So actually, I would have gone for militia both times, and I only got 1 anyway. But still, that's what I wanted to do. And that's the last card for each. Now, I get to pay and then keep cards. I think the Catholics are definitely going to keep their card. The Protestants do not particularly want to keep their card. They're going to toss it. Hate putting it in the deck because I might get it again, but whatever. That doesn't happen right now. I get to pay, but everything's paid off. I can assure you of that. And we'll be going into the third turn of the game here. Yeah. And these come back. I don't really need to count them. I've done all the pre-counting. Alright, up this one goes.